just want to make some brief, talk about sport, especially for Super Falcons of Nigeria. Our female team have been doing so great. They have been so well in the previous years, since the inception of the Nations Cup in Africa. The Super Falcons have been one of the best team in Africa. They've done so much well, so good that they've won the cup 9 times. The Super Falcons have won the African WAFCON Women Nations Cup 9 times. So this is amazing, for female teams to perform this way, in Africa. That means we embrace football in Nigeria. For our women to play up to this level is just very amazing. So great for them to do well. So I'm well motivated to talk about the Super Falcons. In this my video. It's just about their performance. It's incredible. I make research. I try to look at the previous years, how they started, for them to become champions. And then in 1991, they did very well. They won in 1995, 1998, 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006, 2010, 2014, 2016, and 2018. So the Super Falcons have done great. It's so amazing, for these women who arose, to make Nigeria proud in African Cup of Nations. So they are very good side, in those years. They've done so great since the inception of the Nations Cup, for women. And then we don't have to forget those who played for Nigeria. So I just begin to imagine some great players who did very well, for Nigeria. We have a lot of names, the likes of Anchejine, we have Yinka Kudaisi, we have Adana Mwaneri, we have Kikelo Majayi, we have Stella Mbachu, Rita Mwadike, we have Messi Akide, our top striker in that World Cup. We have Florence Omagbeme, we have Moremado, Inkiro Keseme, which is another midfielder, great player who scored a lot of goals for Nigeria. So this squad, they have really performed. Why I'm talking about them is because they are great. They've done well. Remember, the Super Falcons, they also played in USA in the World Cup. They got to quarterfinal. It was really amazing. The Super Falcons. So they defeated Korea 2-1 in Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena in America. And then Rita Mwadike and Mesa Akide got the goal. And then also the Super Falcons defeated Denmark. That's in the other games after losing to USA 7-1. So the goal was scored by Nkiro Kesieme. That was in 1999. That's 22 years ago. So, the World Cup is coming. The World Cup is approaching now in New Zealand and Australia this year, this summer. So it's going to be an amazing one for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. So this is a great team. These names I mentioned, they have been so great. They played a wonderful football, especially for them to play in the quarterfinal. That's why I'm trying to remember this memory lane, to remember those great players who did very well for Nigeria. There's a host of them, a lot of them, so they are well recognized. They are one of the legend of Nigeria, Super Falcons of Nigeria in the past. They have done so much well, and I will really appreciate them. We have Ukeria Uche. She's another wonderful, part of the squad who played for Nigeria she played for Nigeria for a very long time. So she's one of the best, and she later coached the Super Falcons of Nigeria. So she's one of the best players during her days. In that tournament, after we defeated North Korea, Nigerian defeated Denmark 2-0, at the Jack Kent Cook Stadium. That's in Washington, and the goals was scored by Messi, Akide, and Hiro Okesieme. So those are the one of the top strikers we have at that time. They really did very well, and then kudos to those squad who never relented for them to be in the quarterfinal. Was amazing. They did well in other tournaments, both in the Olympics and then So we have to remember this squad. They are really good. They did very, very well. So, and then I'll begin to move into, and I don't, okay, I have to remember, I think there's a game that was shock, in that tournament. I think the Brazil was leading 3 goals to nil, and Nigeria came to equalize. So this is amazing, for just like our Olympic in 1996 when Brazil was leading the under 23 team. We came from behind to win that game. So that is just amazing. Just like this match too, when Brazil were leading 3 goals to 0, Nigeria came through Priska Emafu, Nkiro Kesieme, and Nkechi Egbe. They scored, they equalized this game. So it was a wonderful, squad. So I really appreciate this squad. They put Nigeria map at the biggest level in football. Being an African, being a Nigerian, and coming from behind, to do a lot of magic in soccer. This is so amazing because for them to get to that high to play in the quarterfinal is not easy for an African female players. So we hope that now the current Super Falcons can go all the way to do better. I'm urging them to go to New Zealand and Australia to get us the World Cup, because this is the high time that the Super Falcons can go to the World Cup to deliver. So we are looking forward because we have a lot of good stars, a lot of them, in the person of our Barcelona striker, Asisat Oshoala. Oshoala have been so consistent. She has scored a lot of great goals. She has won the African Football of the Year woman. But so she has, what else can I say about Asisat Oshoala? She has been scoring goals in Barcelona. She has played for a host of teams in England, in China, and then now applying her trade in Barcelona. So Asisat Oshoala is one of the players we are looking ahead to see her show that goal scoring ability, lead Nigeria to win that cup in New Zealand and Australia. So I think it's going to be a wonderful tournament because we have a lot of players, and also the fantastic captain, Ibion Nome. She's the captain of the team. She has been so marvelous. She has been playing, doing everything. She has won the Nations Cup. She's one of the recognized player in the squad, someone you can look up to. She's a fantastic captain. We hope that she will go to Australia in this FIFA Senior World Cup to make Super Falcons and Nigeria great. So we wish her all the best. And then not to forget, we have a lot. We have Rashida Tajibade, who is playing in Spain. She's one of the top strikers for Nigeria. So we are looking ahead for all these players for them to give their 100% in that World Cup. We have Regina Otus, who play for Saint Etienne in France. She's one of the players who also did well in the Nations Cup in Morocco. So we have Esther Okoronkwo, who is doing very well. She's one of the best players for Super Falcons. I'm wishing them all the best. I want them to go to that World Cup to make Nigeria proud. This is just special for the Super Falcons for this World Cup. And we have Desire Oparaneze. She played in the last World Cup in France, and then she's there. I think in the last tournament in Turkey, she was invited. We look forward for her experience. She's playing currently in China. So Oparaneze, we hope she can go there to give us what we need, the victory for Super Falcons. And we have the goalkeeper who is doing very well in Paris here, Paris FC, Nadozie. Chiamaka Nadozie have been wonderful, for Nigeria since she took over that number one shirt in Super Falcons in the World Cup in France, the last World Cup, female World Cup. So Nadoze, she has been, a thorn in the flesh. She has been in the post. I mean, when I watch her, I begin to see her reflexes, the experience. She's so motivated to be in the goal for Super Falcons. She's very calm, and then she's good. So we hope to see more for her to perform more in this World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. And then we have Yewande. She's a goalkeeper. She's in Saint Etienne in France. So she's doing pretty well. She kept in Mexico, in their other game. I watch her and she's doing well. So those are the safe hand we have for Super Falcons. And not to forget about our our right fullback, Michelle Alozie. She's up and down. She's very wonderful. Those are the players we are looking up to do damages for Super Falcons to give us victory in that World Cup. Not to forget about Akide, one of the midfielders. These are top players. And then we have Ashley Plumpte, who she applied her trade in Leicester City, and she's one of those dependable defenders we are going to look up to in this World Cup. We have Ifeoma Onomonu, our striker. She plays in America. She's one of the, great strikers. She did very well in Morocco. Every Nigerians and then these lovers of football watch her and see how she did, her best, striking. She's a very good goal scorer and then with a lot of experience. And we have Monday Gift. She also in Spain. This is another striker. Nigeria should watch out. So we hope that these Super Falcons can go all the way, to Australia in this summer to land us the World Cup. So that is what I think and that is what I hope. I want the Super Falcons to make us proud. And then we have another player that I have not seen lately, in the Super Falcons. We talk about Francis Odega. Francis Odega is one of the wingers, one of the players with experience, who has played for our country, Nigeria. We hope the coaches, Wadrum, if Wadrum is the coach currently, so we hope he can look at the side of Francis Odega if she's fit and ready for the World Cup. These are players with experience. So, and then I'm going to end it here, but I think we all Nigerians, we are looking forward how we can win the female World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. This is the time. So we watch out and see what will happen in this World Cup. So thank you. I remain Daniel of Formado.